Hi guys. So today's topic, today's comeback is all about starting over with God. So it's been a while since I posted, and now I understand why every time I want to get online and make a video, I was never able to just bring out what I wanted to say until today. So a couple years ago, I had completed a huge project, which was one of the biggest projects of my career, honestly. And despite finishing that project and finishing strong, I was like, there has to be more to life. And if you don't know, growing up, I was born into a very religious family. But I always had a relationship with God. And eventually, I was like, there's no God. Like, I was like, I don't want nothing to do with God. I am done with believing in faith, blah, blah. Fast forward, after my huge project, I went on my knees and I said, God, I can't do this life without you. And if you're real, and if you are who you say you are, prove to me that you are there. Hey, I rented a car and drove 14 hours to my new apartment. When I got there, I settled and eventually got a new apartment, and I started praying. So I called God and I said, God, thank you for getting me this far, but I want to know you. I want to hear your voice. I want to know that you exist, because in this thing called life, I need that support from a greater power that is not on this earth. Because all my life, I know that there's more to life than just what meets the eye. And the things that I've accomplished in this life, no one in my bloodline has, that I know of. So obviously you've chosen me for a greater purpose. But if I'm going to be cool with you again, look at me bargaining with God. I'm going to be cool with you again. Use me to do your will. Out of nowhere, my body went into shock and I fell on the floor and I heard, from today you will bring victory. I don't recall anybody in my room, in my apartment, in my kitchen, even my pots and pans were not moving. So therefore I knew that was a voice that was from a different realm. So I was like, okay. I got up and I went to go shower. I said, it's my time, my bedtime, it's almost 7, let me go shower and go sleep. I fell on my knees in the tub and I just started praising God. Like, I started speaking in tongues. And I was like, what is going on? Because I have not ever spoken in tongues my whole life. So I've heard about it. I've seen it being spoken, but I've never, spoke it. So what language is coming out of my mouth? Fast forward, on a Monday, I hear a voice say, pack your things and book a ticket to Ghana on Thursday. Within less than a week, I was in Ghana. When I got to where I was going, when I got to my apartment there, I woke up in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. And I stayed around Burma Camp. If you know Labadi Beach, you know Burma Camp area. I stayed around those apartments. I woke up in the middle of the night and something said, go to the beach, Labadi Beach. And what you are asking me to do for you, go and confront that thing. And I heard it so clear. So I called my sister Eunice. I was like, something's on top of me. I know I ain't crazy. calm my spirit. She calmed my spirit down. Calm my spirit down. And I ended straight into Labadi Beach. Before I was getting to Labadi Beach, the concierge at the apartment was like, do not go. It's not safe. You're alone. It's dark. But I was like, I have to go. Every Uber that I was calling was canceling on me until one faithful person said, hi, where are you going? You know how in Ghana, when you're going to Uber, they say, where are you going? And you tell them. So I told them. And the guy said, at this time, I'm going to Labadi. I said, listen, let me go. I get to Labadi. And I go, when you enter Labadi Beach, you're ever in Ghana, you know the Labadi Beach, you enter, you pay the 20 cedi fee, and then you go straight, you take a right, and then there's some people who own land, so they live there. God was like, pass the land and go into the front, because you're passing the land of your bloodline to find what is owed to you in this water. And I could hear someone talking to me, but there's no one around me, and I'm talking to myself like, okay, I should go here. But mind you, it's dark, nobody's around, but I'm just following God. So I go. Fast forward this story. I get to Labadi Beach, I open my Bible and I start praying. Shabayabada, I'm praying. Oh God, okay. God, at this point, what's up? Why am I here? As I'm praying, he said, get up and pray. So I stand up and I'm starting to pray. I'm praying. And then on the side of my eye, I see somebody, a beautiful woman, dark skin, beautiful, short, natural hair, come out of the water with a stick. And I'm praying. And I hear myself screaming, I bind you. I bind the spirits. I bind ancestral curses. I bind ancestral trauma. I bind poverty. I'm things that I don't even know I'm saying. I'm just binding things that just come out of my mouth and I'm praying. That person comes out of the water and starts walking towards me. And as they're walking towards me, she comes in front of my face. Like, this is my face. She's right here. And she turns her head like this, takes the stick, and starts hitting her hand on the stick. And I just start shouting at her, you leave me alone. Get out of my life. Move on. Get out. The next thing you know, she darts into the water and my body starts to tense and I can't move. And I'm like, I bind you. And she's like, the thing that was on top of me when I was in my apartment starts to fall on her. So as I'm pushing myself to just have some strength and become loose again, she's like struggling to enter the water. The next thing you know, I was fighting so hard to be loose that when I literally loosed myself, I ended up in the water. Like my feet are in the water. How? Mind you, if you're in Labadi, you know there's chairs. So from the distance from the chair to the water line is very far. But I don't know how. Usain bolted me or something. That I say, like, you know, the runner Usain Bolt. I feel like I ran as quick as him. And that power, there's no way it was me. Because I don't like to run. I ended up in the water. And I felt this rush on my face. And I felt like everything had been wiped away. So then behind me, I see a light that is beaming. Like the thing was, hey, I said, who has brought their car to be doing this in Labadi at this time? And I turn around and I see a man in all white standing like this. Dark figure man, never standing straight. He was just like this. Didn't see his face at all, but he was wearing all white. When I sat back, I heard, from today, you will bring victory. And that's when I met God for myself. So, coming back now on your screen is to delve deeper into why the things that I just shared with you happen, why I'm sharing with you, and where this channel is going. This channel is going to be sharing with you how to conquer life, how to become the woman or the man, the individual that God had called you to be. Because if I should tell you how God has given me back-to-back blessings after back-to-back trauma, stress, frustrations. You wouldn't believe it. And more than anything, I want you to have that Labadi Beach moment. I'm not saying go to the beach, I beg you, don't go there. All I'm saying is that I want you to get to that point where everything is lifted off. And I remember I was watching a story of a woman who had gone through what I believe is a Job era. I really believe that's what it is, where God is pruning you and taking things out of you, when he's changing you and he's making you the person he has called you to be. And I used to think, man, I could never. Hey, never say never. Because I went through that moment and I wouldn't trade it for the world. God has been so good to me, and I met him for myself. It's not that my parents forced me to go to God. It's not that my friend told me about God. I literally met God through and through. So stay tuned, and I can't wait to share with you how to live a fulfilled life, how to live a life of abundance, a life of wealth, and a life of prosperity. So until next time, may comfort, peace, and financial freedom find you.